Okay, everybody, in this video, I'm going to talk about the training that I'm doing. Here we are offering the target to Donkey, and he ignores me, so I walk off quickly and look to the next horse to see who's actually paying attention. And now Donkey is like, oh, I feel bad. I should have, paid attention and maybe participated. But notice then the big black mare kind of came to me, but then really didn't. Kind of still head is at or above the line, and so she's really not showing me either two eyes or her head down low. Now we have the fillies, the little Palomino, 2-year-old Mustang, and Chili, the blue roan, who are following me around. And that is what you're looking for, right? You're looking for some movement. You're looking for them to show interest in you. You're looking for them to come a little bit out of their comfort zone to come into your comfort zone. So here I am trying to see if I can get her to target and move. And notice she is moving, but now she's in a traffic jam because she has to get by 3 other horses to come over to be by me. Oh, and now I got some movement out of the donkey. Yes. Notice I go and reward him way down low, give him a little pet. That is the way that you want to reward, is always way down low. So now what I'm going to do is go back and reset and get one more treat only and have it in my pocket and give that to him because I did click him, and that is why he deserved that little treat. But again, now I'm just going to stand here, take a deep breath and relax and recenter and refocus myself and do a couple of squats. And this just desensitizes horses to some weird movements, and at the same time gives them a moment to think about, do they want to participate in this training session or not? So here we have Natalia, who, again, the little Palomino, head is below the line, staying below the line. But she's not able to come forward, again, because there's a big traffic jam with all these other horses. I think if it was just her and I, she would probably be following me back and forth. So since she was unable to do that, and since nobody was paying attention to me, I decided to do some jumping jacks. Kind of keep it simple, keep it fun, right? With training, we're always going to be trying to keep it as fun as we possibly can. I offer her the target down low. She takes it and actually touches it that time, which she didn't actually touch it before. And now notice I put her treat in a pan because she is a little baby horse, and sometimes they will be a little bit more mouthy. And so I put her treat in a pan to kind of help minimize my chances of getting bitten or having her mouth my fingers. So now I go back and reset myself once again. Again, we're having fun here, folks. We're having fun. So I'm just resetting, reevaluating, talking to all these horses. Notice they're all here, right? They're all here. As I say, Blaze is looking at me, the thoroughbred. The little wild Mustangs are side by side. Donkey is looking at me. But I'm not getting two eyes from anybody. I'm not getting a lot of movement from anybody. Notice I'm trying to get some movement out of my little chubby donkey to see if I can get him to follow me, and he just doesn't. He's just hoping that I'll put the target in there and he can touch it down low and get a treat without having to do much. So since everybody seems super unmotivated to do a lot, I'm going to go and take a moment to just do some side stretches. This is a very, very good equestrian stretch for the inner thigh. Definitely something that you should take a moment to do. Helps keep you a little more steady on your feet and gives you something to do while you're waiting for your horse to make up their mind if they want to actually do something or not. Now, these guys are kind of interested, but kind of not. So I'm just taking note of that and taking this opportunity to do some stretching and just have some fun. Oh, my ankle was hurting me right there a little bit, you guys. I'm sure none of you guys can relate to having any kinds of aches and pains. And so that is why it is super important that we take good care of our bodies and take good care of ourselves so that we can stay nice and healthy when we are working with our horses, and much less likely to have any kind of trips or falls or injuries. So now I'm just playing some little games right here because, again, I don't see any of these animals that I really want to interact with, right? We don't have two eyes. We don't have a lot of movement. Everybody's pretty much half asleep, kind of ignoring me. I'm sort of asking them, hey, who wants, oh, look, and then the girls come, yay, down head below the line and touching the pointer. So this is a great way to establish your relationship with your horse, to try to see what kind of mood they're in. Are they half asleep? Do they really want to hang out with you or not? Give them an opportunity to touch the target. Oh, and then we had a big horse fight right there. And that was Rowan getting jealous because she is higher up on the hierarchy than those little fillies are. And so, again, that's part of our pre-flight checklist, is always taking into consideration their hierarchy. And so she was getting frustrated that they were being such enthusiastic students right in front of her when she did not feel herself like being an enthusiastic student. So she just decided to run them off. And that's fine, because I'm just going to go and hang out with someone else and do some stretching because I don't want to encourage her to be mean to the other horses. Also, I don't want to interfere with her establishing her dominance. So I'm just going to take this opportunity to do some back stretches. So I'm just hanging on there to the side of the fence and stretching my low back, which is always a good exercise to do. And just gives you an opportunity to have some fun and have some physical fitness and take care of yourself and take care of your body while your horse or horses are trying to decide if they want to participate and play some games with you or not, and bond with you and train with you. So notice we still have the donkey who's watching me, but not showing much interest in actually participating. Now we have Blaze, whose head is over the top of the fence, but I don't like interacting with horses when their heads are way up high above the line like that. But she certainly was trying to get my attention, so I come over there to see if I can get her to get her head down low, and I did. So she decided that then, since the babies were out of the way, she wanted to come over here and get an opportunity to get herself a little treat. So I gave her one treat in a pan, and then she gets run off by Oliver, who is the chestnut there with the white Blaze. And now he's decided that he's awake and he is going to want to pay attention. And so he's unfortunately kind of pushing Blaze out of the way, even though he's far away. He's dominating my attention, running the donkey off, staying close to me, not letting other horses come close to me so that he has the opportunities for him to earn the reward. So now I'm just going to do some more stretching and just take care of myself. Donkey again is interested in participating, but is he really? Will he move a great distance for me if I want him to? I don't know. So let's just watch for a few minutes and see what you think about what I do here over the next couple of minutes. Oliver's finally coming. Notice I'm getting a little bit of movement, head below the line, and getting some movement. I asked him to move backwards. He shook his head no for just a moment, and then went ahead and decided to go ahead and come forward and touch the target. So I'm going to give him a reward because he's actually now choosing to participate in the training session. Oh, and look, I have two eyes from Oliver. So I love that. Donkey's also looking at me and with two eyes, and Oliver is looking at me. So now I turn around to see, is anybody else looking at me with two eyes? And we do have other horses that are looking at me, but again, they have to balance out whether or not they are going to be able to get close to me or not, because other higher ranking horses are in the way. So Oliver was persistently standing there right by the gate, asking for permission to come into the corral and work with me one-on-one. And I had to run and move my feed bucket because he was going to go and help himself. And of course, we don't want any of that. So that wasn't the smoothest move on my part. Probably should have gotten rid of that bucket before I lay him into the corral. But what I love about this is the fact that I opened the gate and he came right into the corral briskly and with energy, because he wanted to come in here, because he knows that once we're in here, then we are upping the ante. There's more opportunity for him to get one-on-one time where he doesn't have to share with anybody else, more opportunity to get some rewards, and also maybe some other rewards like some brushing and grooming and those kinds of things, and not just targeting and food. And so I'm right now having a little bit of a conversation with him and telling him that we're going to move on to something else, which right now is going to be grooming. So we're going to groom naked. For those of you that follow my other videos, you know what I mean by that. Groom naked. No, not you be naked, you guys. Leave your clothes on when you're working with horses. You can definitely do some exercise, but definitely leave your clothes on. And so I'm just moving around him again with him naked. So no halter, no lead rope, not tied up. He willingly came into this corral on his own, right? And so that's what we're looking for before we move on to the next thing with our horse, is we want to pick the one that wants to be with us. And we want to set up the scenario and not work with them unless they're ready to work with us. And so he clearly was. So I let him in. Now I'm using the metal curry to start with, just to get some of the dirt and grime off of the surface of him, not going down too deep, just giving him a quick once over to make sure everything looks good. Then once we've done that, then we can go on to a different kind of brush and get a little bit more deep and make sure that there's no wounds or swellings or anything like that we want to check. We always want to check our horses over all the way from top to bottom, left to right, from tips of their ears to underneath their tail. So I'm moving on to combing out his mane a little bit. And what I love about this is that he's still standing, He's still standing here. That's right. For those of you that know, he's here. So I'm not feeding him. So that's an important thing for you guys to notice. I'm a positive reinforcement trainer, but I don't have a feed bag on me at the moment or a treat pouch. He understands the concepts of positive reinforcement. He's been doing it a while. He's not new to all of this, so I don't need to have food on me constantly. So I've switched now to a curry comb, and I'm currying with a rubber curry his lower legs, getting the mud and dirt and everything off of there and looking at his legs up close, making sure everything looks good. Often I will work with horses from the left side first because that's what most horses are kind of used to. But in this instance, he was standing so quietly and so nicely the whole time. I just kind of worked on things as I felt like it. I didn't worry too much. And notice he's still here, right? He's here. He hasn't moved off. He's not lost interest. He's not trying to be with the other horses. He's not trying to get into my rushes or cause any problems. He's just standing nice and relaxed and perfect. And this is exactly what you're looking for. This is how you start your training session, is with a good naked grooming, no matter what you're doing, whether you're planning on going on a trail ride that day or a show, or just if you're only just grooming and that's all you're doing today, then no problem at all. You just want to do it where the horse has a choice on whether they come into the corral or not. That's number one. And then you want the horse to have a choice for the entire grooming session, and that's number two. And so he is doing great so far. He's standing quietly while I am getting all of the grooming done and without fussing or moving or causing any kind of issue. So I'm going to reward him just a little bit for being such a good boy and being so cooperative. And now we're going to move on to the next part, which is sometimes the hardest part and hard for you to see in this video, and that is hoof picking, right? So we're going to hoof pick all the way around. Again, how are we going to do this hoof picking? We're going to do it naked, right? So we want to be able to pick up all 4 feet. And notice I did start left front and he was very good. He picked it up, no problem. So now I'm just going to be gently touching him down the leg, to show him that I intend to pick up the other foot. A little bit of a struggle there. Could be some arthritis that is causing him to struggle just a little bit. He's not really trying to kick me, so notice that. Sometimes your horse might be just struggling to stand on 3 legs. They're not actually trying to kick you. So then he decided that picking 2 feet was enough for him to get a reward. And I said, no, not quite, buddy. Let's go ahead and finish this off. So I reassured him and went back to what I was doing. And here's a perfect example of why our physical fitness is so important, you guys. We have to be able to do our squats. We have to have strong lower legs. We have to have a strong back so that we can be underneath our horse and support them and have good, steady movements. Now I have picked all 4 feet and we've done it quote unquote naked. So now I'm going to sprint off and get him a reward and give him a click because that's more advanced to be able to pick a horse's feet, all 4 of them, with them loose and out in the open without being tied up or any resistance whatsoever. And so that's why I'm going to go ahead and give him a treat. So I apologize. You have to wait on me while I run out the gate, get him the treat, and come back to the camera. But that is the way it goes when you are filming by yourself. What I like is the fact that Blaze and Rowan and Donkey and Chili and Natalia, that's all of those horses from left to right, are all standing around waiting for the opportunity to see if they might get a chance to come into the corral and get a training session. And oops, Touchton got nervous, threw his head up a little bit. So I want to try to change that and get him to relax and have his head back down. He's paying attention to something off in the distance for just a minute. I run off again to get something and he is dutifully following me, and that is what you want, because you want them to always want to be with you. You want them to always be following you around just like a big dog. Not because they are dogs, but because that just tells you a lot about your relationship with them, what kind of relationship that you have with them, and that they actually want to be with you. You want your horse to want to be with you because that is the way you're going to stay safer around them. That way, you know they really enjoy your company, they want to be with you, and they're way more likely to take great care of you when you do decide to go ahead and get on their back and ride them around. And, now I'm just playing a little game with him. I'm having him follow the target around and trying to get a little bit more movement with him. Perfect. So this is kind of how you start free lunging, you guys. This is how you want to do that. You don't want to shake your whip at your horse from behind and force them and scare them into moving forward. You actually want to encourage them to move around the round pen following a target It's a much, much better, kinder, gentler, faster, better way to teach horses how to move around the pen. So he was doing really good there, so I'm going to reward him for that. So I know that we're not quite ready to do a dressage show or anything like that, but then this is an older rescue horse with some physical problems, and so we don't do a whole lot of riding with him anyway, and that may be the case with your horse. And if it's not the case with your horse, which I hope that it's not, I hope your horse is sound and that you have big hopes for a big future with them, there are definitely other things that I can show you on how you can get them to move around pen with energy and impulsion, just with voice commands and with following a target, without having to do traditional types of lunge training. Yes, it is possible. Don't forget to have fun, you guys. Don't forget to have fun. He was standing there trying to decide if he wanted to follow with me or not. He couldn't make up his mind what he wanted to do, so I decided that I would just dance a little jig while he was making up his mind. Notice he was pawing right there. He's getting a little frustrated. He's moving back with me, back, nice, a little sidestep. Perfect. So that's why it's really good to do some movement with your horse. He's getting a little frustrated with me, and that is why he's pawing, because he feels that what I am asking of him is too much movement. He's sort of feeling like he should be allowed to get a reward for doing much less work. And I'm disagreeing because I want him to actually move around and get some exercise along with his grooming session. And so again, don't forget that sometimes the best thing you can do when you get stuck in horse training is just do a little jig. So now I'm doing what we all have to do, which is spray our horses with some kind of fly spray. Don't forget, here at the ResqRanch, we only use my DrQ's shoe fly spray, all natural. It's so good for your skin and good for their skin, and actually really works to keep flies off. So it's a good thing to always be practicing, even though we don't have a lot of flies just yet in this video. They're coming, and we know that, so we're going to go ahead and start practicing a little bit with the spray bottle so that when the time comes, he's going to be less startled by when we start spraying him with that shoe fly spray. Thanks everybody for watching my video. Please leave your comments down below on any thoughts, questions, comments that you have about why I did things the way I did with them, with Oliver and the other horses in this video. And we hope to see you right here at another video sometime very soon. Thanks and God bless. Bye-bye.